Well, the Buick's back out and it's got numbers on it. And going around the side here, it's got stickers on it. So what's going on? Yeah, well, I raced it again. PFI Speed had a, actually got a full series right now. They had an event down in Pueblo last weekend, and third of four, two in Pueblo, two in Nebraska, Kearney, Nebraska. So Pueblo, Colorado, Kearney, Nebraska. Pueblo's about a couple hours away. Kearney's a little bit further. But anyway, missed the first two because traveling and doing some things. So wanted to at least check it out and figured the Buick was still sitting around. So last time I filmed anything on this, I was doing some additional lightning. Took off the front and rear bumpers. Took all the internal bumper stuff off. A lot of steel bumper things, foam, surprisingly decent amount of weight, probably at least 100 or more pounds. And if you come back here, you can kind of see in the back of the car that I did cut out right along here. I don't know what you call it, the bottom of the valance or something, but with removing of the foam bumper supports in the steel bumper itself and brackets and a bunch of other junk back there, it's a little more open. And honestly, over on this side, there used to be the exhaust outlet, and obviously since all that stuff's gone, looked a little weird. It kind of was being a bit of a sail, and I guess if you look at it right now, you can tell this is not perfectly even, but we'll trim that up more and clean it up. Just wanted to get some initial cut and kind of eyeballed it for now, but cut that so it was not so much of a sail going down the track. And then on the front up here, it looks stock again, because once again that's the goal. But removed all the front support things, etc. And like I said, 100, I don't know, maybe more pounds took off this thing. And but otherwise, it still has a supercharger, so still making the same basic power. Interior's still the same. I was going to try messing with the seats, but I figured I might as well just do it right. I didn't have a ton of time before that race was coming up. But anyway, so current condition, still with supercharger, although this will be, I said it before, but I'll say it again, this should be the final time it races as is. But yeah, let's check out the times. I did bring a camera down there, but honestly didn't film anything, so I could have done my usual in-car filming shots, but honestly it was pretty much the same as previous videos, because I ran a lost first round. Of course, it was an 1150 index. I ran a 1389. Then I ran second run 1388, and then guess what? First race run 1387. So this is all, oh sorry, I dropped this one. This is all 1150 index, so obviously not going to win anything with that. But yeah, I just decided to do one more run, and kind of unexpected, or I shouldn't say unexpected, not surprisingly, ran what this car does. I think the best thing though was it varied by what? That's only 200ths, and it picked up 100th every time I went. So if they would have let me race, you know, and do like 100 laps, obviously I would have picked up a second. But no, seriously, it for what it is, it did okay. But 1380s at Kearney, I think it was 1350, 1340. I probably should clarify that the Lightning Up, this 1389, I have to go back and look, but I think the previous time I ran at Pueblo last year, the same basic car configuration, but little more, still had the extra weight in it. I think I ran like a 1408 or 14, almost 2/10. So, and this was very, very hot. I think it was 96 degrees on Saturday. Here it is a day or so later. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Crazy Colorado weather, but down in Pueblo on Saturday it was pretty brutal. In fact, Friday, thankfully we weren't racing Friday, it was 104. So 96 was still pretty brutal. So the car without an intercooler it's not running great. But I mean, 96 for any car is not running ideal. So, but regardless, I would say I picked up somewhere between 1 and 2/10 just doing this Lightning Up I did again. And all this is going to be more beneficial for the turbo, and hopefully trying to salvage the transmission, etc. So I don't know, I thought that was pretty good. So if I picked up another 10th or two, ultimately, if I ran a Carney again, I bet you I could run 13.3s. This car at sea level would be 13 flat, maybe a high 12. I don't know. It's pretty good. So this should be the last video. I say this because I've said that before, so hopefully I'm not wrong. But this should be the last video of the supercharged combination. Amazingly, this car has still not had a valve cover opened or really anything internal touched. A pulley, a cold air intake, which probably doesn't do much, maybe a little bit. A tune, and then, yeah, an exhaust, a couple other little things to go with that. But the big things for sure would be pulley, just tune, and the intake. And then I don't think I got 1,000 pounds, but I bet you I got 800 pounds maybe. I have to look at the old videos and see ultimately what it was. But we got quite a bit of weight out of this thing. So at this point, I could keep racing and keep losing because I'm just too slow. If I took a bracket racing, I'd do well because this thing's extremely consistent. But the PFI stuff is all index or just heads up. I did cut a better light than everybody I raced, but that didn't help. It wasn't enough to make up the difference. So, yeah, I think at this point, oh, little side note. We got something over here for a different car. That would be a little weird to put on the Buick. That is for the Subaru. I got a couple things coming up on the Subaru. I've been waiting forever for these things to show up. But back to the Buick. I think yeah, there's really no point. I'm not going to run it again unless it's got the turbo on it. And then it'll be interesting to see. Traction could be an issue because these are drag radials on a 16-inch wheel. So ideally it'd be nice to have a 15 with a slick. There's no way I could get something smaller than a 15, although the stuff on the Cobalt over here could actually mount up or be modified to go on this. It's a bunch of Grand Am stuff on that, which allows you to get a better fitting 15-inch wheel. So who knows, we'll ultimately see. But with the turbo, other than just getting it to run right, possibly could have traction issues. And then, yeah, this guy down here, I don't know. Once again, that Cobalt sitting over there does have a 4T65 heavy-duty GM racing transmission that could handle, I don't know, 6, 7, 1,000, I don't know, a lot of power, but that's probably for the Pro front car. But backup option could be this. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think at this point now we'll just no excuse. I got about a month or so, I think, till another race so I could realistically spend time try to do this right. I still need injectors. Probably should put new head gaskets on this thing. So unfortunately, I probably have to pull the heads. Just because I saw the tiniest bit of coolant being used up. I don't know. But anyway, at this point, turbo time. So let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.